Hey, girlfriend, hey, and welcome back to Coconuts, home of the long hair society. Ain't our natural hair pretty? Look at it, nice and thick and just, ooh, bouncy. Ooh, yes, honey, this can be you, this could be me, this could be all of we. So I got to do a quick sewing real quick before her birthday dinner reservation. So let me show you the products I'm going to be using for this sewing. I'm going to be using the End Repair Butter, and I'm going to use the Anti-Itch Drops because we ain't got no time to be patting no scalp with the sewing. So how I start off my sewings first is I go ahead and create the part. It's always so difficult to get somebody to choose what part they want. But my niece, she always stick to the middle part. She don't never want to get a side part a chance because she feel like the side part make her look like a little girl and she be feeling like she grown. Now, if you've been keeping up to date with my videos, I told you that she ain't getting a lot of leave out no more with her sewings because homegirl don't know how to act when she get her all this leave out. She be making her hair get all crunchy in the back and she be having it looking all dry and starting to break and stuff. So now she gonna get a traditional sewing with just the part that needs to be left out. Ain't no sides, ain't no back, no high ponytails, none of that. But with a traditional sewing, you can still have it be somewhat versatile. So don't worry about that. So I'll go ahead and take out the part that's going to be left out. And then I do these little triangle pieces on each side just to make sure nobody don't try her if the wind blow and ain't nobody going to be like, oh, your track showing. So I dust out her little edges. You know, I don't braid that up. So she have a little stuff if she wants to do a little bit of baby hair. So I just brush out whatever can come out and that's it. And then I go ahead and create an anchor braid. Now, this is the braid that's going to be around her leave out to make sure that the hair extensions get as close as it needs to be to her leave out so it looks extra flawless, okay? Now, it seems like I left a lot of hair out, but her hair is just thick, so we just leave a good amount out, but not too much. After you carve that section out, you're going to want to go ahead and separate that section as well and get that to the side. And you're going to leave those braids for the last two braids, okay? I would do a more detailed, longer version of this sewing when, you know, Santa Claus come bring me a camera and a new Apple laptop. That way I can edit longer videos instead of having on my phone. And when I say Santa, I mean one of y'all rich folks who watching my videos and want to go ahead and gift your girl for Christmas because I've been good. So I don't never braid nobody hair straight back because if you braid somebody hair straight back for a sewing and you try to bring it up, you can break the nape of their hair. And we need all of our hair to be long, especially the beady beads in the back. So I go ahead and braid that to the side and make sure you're not braiding too tight and creating no neck bumps. We don't need none of that going on. It don't need to be that tight. Either you know how to sew it or you don't, okay? All that extra tight braiding and tiny braiding is not necessary. You just need to lock your threads. So if somebody making your hair hurt, braiding and creating all these tight bumps, they just don't know how to do no sewing and they don't even know how to braid because they don't even take that much. It's not even this a real true long lasting sewing is not in the braiding. It's really in the locking of the threads that makes it damn near permanent. After I braid the back straight across, I go ahead and carve out a braid going from the front of the leave out around the ear and towards the back, creating like a weaving technique. Even though what I'm saying might be confusing, just pay attention to what I'm doing and you'll get the drift, okay? This is a simple sewing. I tried all different braid patterns over the last 20 years, and I feel like this braid pattern works on every length, every thickness without causing too much tension and helping your hair grow. I know I see some people who be doing some tiny braids that be going around the world, and that look nice and all, and they claim it's extra flat, but you don't need to do all of that because that's going to create tension on where it started, the braid started. So kudos to all them super duper people who know how to do all them extra small flat braids, but trust me, this type of braid pattern is going to leave the hair flat. It's not going to have too much tension and it's going to promote hair growth. I've been doing it for a while and I've been doing it on different textures of hair. Now you see me put the End Repair Butter, even though her hair is thoroughly sealed because I use so many great natural products on her hair, I'm still very extra. So I put the End Repair Butter on her ends as I braid. And because I already blow dried her hair, I don't need to be combing out her hair anymore. You just need to part and braid and that's it. All that extra combing, nah, just use your fingers at this point. We already put the hair through a lot with the blow drying and the combing before we blow dry. So right now you just need to put some End Repair Butter on the ends, part your parting, use your fingers to do whatever detangling you need to do, and just braid, okay? That's it. As I'm braiding, you will see me tuck the previous braid's ends in as I braid. And I do that as much as I can without making it too lumpy. And that just helps me because when I get to the end, I won't have to sew up so many long hair ends. So, as you see, I'm finger detangling, getting through any type of knots, and then I grab that magic end repair butter because it's the truth. And then I put it on the ends and I just start to braid and get it in there. It's not too tight, not at all. It's not too small because it doesn't need to be. And I just braid and tuck and keep it moving. And I pretty much do this until I run out of space. This type of braiding pattern from the front to the back, especially when you have a middle part. But if you have a side part, it's kind of the same concept. So now that I'm done braiding up, it's time for me to go ahead and put them scalp therapy drops on, because one thing about a sewing, oh girl, it's going to test your strength, okay, with a K. For some reason, when you get a sewing, a couple days in, that itch starts to attack you. So you're going to need these scalp therapy drops. It's still going to promote hair growth, but it's going to make sure that your hair ain't itching, you ain't patting it too much, and you ain't going crazy. Because when that itch hits you, oh Lord, you can contemplate taking your hair out. But no worry, drop these drops in your scalp. Make sure not to get it on the hair extensions because you don't want to get it too oily. Just put it in the scalp. A couple of drops goes a long way. And like I said, because it contains such great medicinal ingredients, it's going to get that itch, is going to soothe that scalp, and is definitely going to promote that growth, okay? Because it's all about the growth. So I'll go ahead and put that all over her scalp and base her down. And now it's time for me to go ahead and sew up the ends of her hair so we can start this sewing, because we got to get to dinner on time, honey. They made me put the credit card down, and honey, they ain't gonna take my money without feeding me, so I got to get there. You know how them fancy restaurants be. So now I'm a little bit extra because we don't be playing, okay? We know that our ends is where length begins. So we are going to add more end repair butter to the very ends before we sew up these ends. And we're going to go ahead and base these, okay? I mean, cover those ends and make sure it's locked and sealed. If your stylist ain't doing all this extra for you, that's probably why your hair ain't as long as it should be, okay? Listen, if you come to me and I do your hair, I'm going to be going an extra mile because I want your hair to be long. Because if your hair long, that just proves that I'm a long hair stylist, and that's what I am. And if you're a stylist, don't be afraid to just go the extra mile for your client and just base their hair with all these natural products. It might be a little slippery, but just keep a towel close by. That way you can, wipe off the excess oil off your fingers. Now I'm going to grab my needle and thread, honey, and I am going to sew these ends up, get it flat, find a way to fit them in, create your own pattern, and just squeeze them in there and, put them between spaces so it's just not too lumpy and clumpy. The longer the hair is, the more creative you're going to have to get with trying to hide these ends of the hair. So I'm going to go ahead and sew them up really meticulously. Oh, that's a big word, girl. You go ahead, girl, using the big words. And I'm going to just go ahead and sew it up, honey, and get ready to put the extensions in. She is reusing her hair extensions, and she added another bundle. She had these hair extensions for almost a year. Y'all, I still ain't dropped my vendor yet, and that's because I'm just making sure my vendor list is the A1 for you guys, but it's coming soon, I promise, because these hair extensions are bomb. She's using the Mongolian Cocoa Straight. Now she has 3 bundles of 2 20 inches and 1 18 inch, and we dyed it jet black. Now for some I double the tracks, and for some rows I do single tracks, whatever it takes. Yes, I do cut tracks. I'm not one of those people who don't cut tracks to preserve your hair extensions. Listen, if you're gonna do the look, you're gonna do the look. Is you a baddie or is you not? Okay, so yes, put them layers in, cut them tracks, whatever it takes to make you look bomb, and that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm stitching it up, and yes, this is still going to be a flat sewing, very flat. The hair extensions look almost exactly like her natural hair, and even when we straighten it, it's just going to look like someone who had a silk press, and that's the look we were going for. And because we got lengths that are the same exact length of her natural hair, is just gonna just flow so seamlessly with the leave out. So I'm just stitching it up, knotting my threads, honey, because that's how you create the permanent effect. Listen, this sewing ain't going nowhere until you cut it out. You got to learn how to lock your threads. And that's the only way you keep your sewing from not coming out, not getting loose. And that way you can keep a sewing for 3 to 6 months easily. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and press this weave out, press out her leave out. Definitely going to use some great styling products to get a sleek look. And once I'm done, we're just going to get dressed and we're going to head to dinner. And look at this. This looks so real. Like, come on, does this not look natural? It's flat. She could still pin it up. This can still do low ponytails and is definitely going to last very long. Hey, curl friends. As y'all can see, I've been wearing this afro wig out and it ain't gonna stop hair, okay? It was either this or my red wig. Let's head to South Beach and let's go get some food. Happy birthday, Makasia. She turned 20 and she chose Papi steak for her fancy dinner. And this is her mama and this is me. And the attire for the night was black bombshell. She wanted everybody to wear black and come with it. So Papi steak is a restaurant in South Beach. It's very expensive. Okay, that's what a ballers be, okay? Now, we had to book this reservation weeks in advance. You had to put a deposit down. It's very dark and seductive in there, like very sexy. And I love that. My niece wanted to do a whole grown and sexy type of theme. That's the era she's entering into. And her mama is so proud of her because her mama used to be a roller stone. Her mama was a bad teenager. And my sister really lucked up with getting such a good daughter who didn't give her no problems. So this is her trying her little first drink. Don't tell nobody. But her mama was there, so it don't really count. You know what I'm saying? So Papi Steak is the restaurant with $1,000 steak, and it comes to like a party and all that stuff. And a table next to us bought the steak. Listen, if I'm paying $1,000 for a steak, it better come with a Papi. I don't care. I'm gonna need it to come with a man, okay? A man with the steak and with $1,000, okay? That's what I'm gonna need. But it was so fun and lit. Yes, honey. And we just had a good time. We had a bottle of Moet. We had lobster. We had steaks. We had wine. We just had a grand time. My niece really enjoyed her birthday. She got great gifts. We had great food. It was just amazing. And I'm so glad that I get to experience such great milestones with my family. My family and I are very close. We are like the Kardashians. My sisters are my best friends. My mama, my brother, my nephews. Thank you guys so much for watching this sewing. She loved her hair, of course. And make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you like and comment on this video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.